You're listening to Africa Media Matters from the Institute for War and Peace Reporting. And now we'll hear from a man who's breathing new life into the book business in Nigeria. Muhtar Bakare left a steady job in banking to set up what is now Nigeria's leading independent publishing house, Farafina. Among his fans is the author of Half of a Yellow Sun, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, who described him as a widely read, thoughtful, Pan-African humanist. Hello, Mr. Bakare. Thanks for joining us today. And let me start by asking you, why did you leave banking to go into publishing?
I went into publishing to fill a gap because at that point I noticed that all the stories that we read when we were growing up had kind of ceased. All the companies that were publishing such stories that we grew up to love had stopped publishing them. So we felt there was a gap in the market and we wanted to fill that gap.
And what kinds of stories were you reading when you were growing up?
I read stories by Adichie, Chukwuemeka, Ike, T.M. Aluko. There's so many stories, the African Writers series. And you even had stories in Nigerian languages.
Why do you think it's important for Nigerians to read homegrown fiction?
It's very important because fiction helps us to understand what we are dealing with. Fiction helps us to be able to grasp the important trends and issues in society so that we can better manage the transition from where we are to where we are going.
What effect has your publishing house had on writing in Nigeria from the author's point of view and also from the reader's point of view?
We went into publishing fiction at a time when the bigger publishing companies wouldn't touch it. That kind of gave the authors here a little bit more confidence that they can still continue to write and be published. But from the reader's viewpoint, because we do sell our books for very, very low and affordable prices, so we're able to bring some of the best contemporary Nigerian writers, to their natural markets in Nigeria. So we believe that we are connecting Nigerian writers with Nigerian readers, and that is very satisfying.
You've had some great successes with your authors, notably Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Is there much difference in what Nigerian readers of fiction and readers elsewhere in the world are looking for?
I think good fiction is good fiction, and Nigerian sensibilities is not that divergent from global sensibilities. And Chimamanda is as popular in Nigeria as she is anywhere else in the world. And her books are on the curriculum for schools in Nigeria. And there are 150 million people in Nigeria, so the market is deep for good quality writing that can connect with the values and the aspirations of the people.
You have a big market, but the economic climate is difficult all over the world. So how is that affecting business?
The economic climate all over the world and readership in Nigeria, the connection really is the capacity of the business organizations to function. But the more structural issues are issues of distribution, the distribution network that make it difficult to access the large number of readers scattered all over the country. But the issue of not being able to access readers in Nigeria has been ongoing even before the recent economic meltdown globally. But that is because the commercial infrastructure in the country was degraded during the military years, 30 years. The commercial infrastructure basically broke down. So, it's been a very challenging industry, but we are still there.
What role did the internet play in helping you get the business off the ground?
In the early stages, the internet helped us to reach a lot of the young, ambitious writers and not so young writers, because Nigerian writers tend to be scattered all over the world. So being on the internet gave us access to them, and also being on the internet makes it possible for us to reach readers that we might otherwise not be able to reach. And I suspect the impact of the internet will be more dramatic in the future, because a few months ago, broadband landed in Nigeria. In the next few months, we'll start feeling the impact on the consumer side. So the internet may even be more important in distributing fiction in Nigeria.
Now, I believe that apart from publishing, you also run workshops for editors and you're also training other publishers.
That's actually not commercial. We have a not-for-profit segment, and the idea is to use that platform to promote reading and writing in Nigeria and across Africa. And every year we organize a writers' workshop, which Chimamanda anchors, and she tries to bring writers that she admires from all over the world. And we take entries from whoever is interested, and we shortlist 20 people and invite them to the workshop. And over 10 days, they work with experienced writers and then try to improve the quality of their craft. Then apart from that, we have the editors' workshop, which has been kindly supported by Trust Africa, because we don't have a lot of good quality editing in the country. So we try and bring experienced editors and bring young, promising editors from different publishing houses together over a week. And we try and learn and improve our knowledge and see how we can take the industry to the next level.
Before you move on to the next level, let's look back at the last 6 years and tell us, what do you think you've achieved so far?
What we've been able to do is to glamorize writing again, to make writers cool again for young people. It's okay, once again, for young people to want to be writers, because we have writers like Chimamanda, Adichie, like Sefiata, who are very glamorous and successful. So it's cool for young people to aspire to be writers all over again.
Thanks so much for talking to us, Mr. Bakare. That was Nigerian publisher Muhtar Bakare joining us from Lagos.